Hello student, in previous video we have seen about the separation of cream from milk. In that centrifugation technique is used, and the process of centrifugation is used to separate the cream from the milk. Means it is basically used for the difference in denser particle of a solute and solvent. So in such a condition we can use the separation technique like a centrifugation. It is a method of separating the suspended particle of substance from a liquid. Now this process is carried out by the machine called the centrifuge. Centrifugation is done by the machine that is called the centrifugation. Sometimes the solid particles in a liquid are very small and it is passed through the filter paper. So such a condition we can use the centrifugation technique because we cannot use a filter technique because it is a pass through the filter paper as well. The particle size is very small. So such a condition we can use the centrifugation technique. Now the mixture is rotated rapidly so that the heavier particle in the mixture settle down to the bottom. And the basic principle of a centrifugation is that the denser particles are forced to the bottom and the liquid being a lighter remain at the top. And now let's see the steps of separating cream from the milk. Till now we have discussed in a previous video, and from this topic we will see further. So the steps of separating cream from the milk. So the first one that the take some full cream milk in a test tube, and then after the centrifuge it by using a centrifugation machine for a 2 minute. First of all, we have to take a milk which possess the maximum amount of the cream, and then after we have to pour this milk into the test tube, and this test tube we have to keep in a centrifuge machine, and then after we have to rotate it for a 2 minutes. Now let's see the application of centrifugation where we can use this centrifugation technique. So the first application that used in a diagnosis laboratories for the blood and the urine test. In the first application means in a laboratory, pathological lab, they are using a centrifuge machine and by which they are performing the centrifugation technique. So it is mainly used for the diagnosis for a blood and the urine. In that was separation the component of the blood, higher the denser component and the lighter component like a serum, then plasma, blood cell, etc. And same like for the urine as well. So the first application of centrifugation is it is used in a diagnosis laboratory for the blood and the urine test. Now the second one that it is used in a dairies and the home to separate the butter from the cream, and it is also used in a dairy like milk production in Surat. We know that the Sumul dairy is there, and such a maximum amount of the centrifugation is used for the dairy purpose for the separating of the milk then cream, then from the curd, makhan, you can say that butter that we can separate. So this is the wide area where the centrifugation technique is used, that is a dairy, and in also we can use this technique at a home by the centrifuge means by the rotating our buttermilk by the using a mixture, or you can say the beater. So we get the butter from the curd. So this is the basic application of centrifugation. It is used in the dairies and the home to separate the butter from the cream. The third one that used in a washing machine to squeeze out the water from wet clothes. As we know that in the washing machine also it is a rotate, and while the rotating of the machine it is a squeeze out the water which is present in the clothes, and by which we can easily dry our clothes. So there is a main three application of a centrifugation technique. The first one that it is used in a diagnosis laboratory for a blood and urine test. Second one that it is used in a dairies and the home to separate the butter from the milk. The third one that it is used in a washing machine to squeeze out water from the wet clothes. Now, the next type of separating techniques, it's for the two miscible liquids, means the liquid which is completely mixed with each other, that is called the miscible, and the immiscible means the liquid which is not completely mixed with each other. That kind of liquid we consider as a immiscible liquid. Let's see one more time centrifugation technique. The separation of a cream from milk. If asked that which kind of technique we can use for the separation of cream from milk, then we can use the centrifugation technique. So the process of centrifugation is a use to separate the cream from the milk, and it is the method of separating the suspended particle of a substance from a liquid, and this process is carried out by the machine that is called the centrifugation. Sometimes the solid particle in a liquid are very small, so it can easily pass through the filter paper. So for separating such a material, we cannot use filtration technique. So for this kind of technique, this kind of material, if we want to separate it out, then we can use the centrifugation technique. And in this technique, the mixture is rotated rapidly so that the heavier particle in the mixture settle down to the bottom. And the basic principle of the centrifugation is that the denser particles are forced to the bottom and liquid being a lighter remain at the top. Now the steps for separating a cream from the milk. So first step, that is take the some of full cream milk in a test tube. Centrifuge it by using a centrifugation machine for 2 minutes. And it is this point is very important. Application of centrifugation means where we can use this centrifugation technique. So the first application of centrifugation is it is used in a diagnostic laboratory for a blood and the urine test. The second one that it used in a dairies and the home to separate the butter from the cream. And the third use that it is also used for the washing machine for a squeezing out water from the wet clothes. Now let's see the next topic. It's a separating two immiscible liquids. The separation of a separating two immiscible liquid is carried out by the using a funnel, because it both are the we can easily differentiate. So the basic principle involved in the difference between the density of a two liquid from a two separate layer. Now let's see the steps of the separating from kerosene oil and the water. So first of all, pour the mixture of the kerosene oil and water in the separating funnel, and let's start the undisturbed from some time so that the separate layer of a oil, or you can say the kerosene oil, and the water are formed. Now the open the stopcock of the separating funnel and pour out the lower layer of water carefully. The fourth point that the close the stopcock of the separating funnel as the oil reach to the top cork. Now application of this funnel, where we can use this kind of funnel. So the first application that it is used for the separate a mixture of oil and the water. The second one that it is also used in the extraction of iron from its ore. The lighter slag is removed from the top by this method to leave the molten iron at the bottom in the furnace. As we know that lighter slag is removed from the top of this method because it is a light in weight, so it is a up in furnace, and the molten iron which is a heavy, which is stay at the bottom. So by using this technique we can separate it out this thing. Now let's see one more time in detail. the separating two immiscible liquids. So in that we can use the example of kerosene, oil and water. As we know that the oil and water is a immiscible liquid, they cannot mix with each other. So for that the separating funnel, or you can say the funnel technique is used. The separation of a separating two immiscible liquid is carried out by the use of funnel. The second one, that the basic principle which involves in the difference between the density of a two liquid from two separate layer, and this separating funnel is mainly work on the density. So whatever the denser substance is there, it is settled down at the bottom layer, and whatever the lighter denser part of this mixture, that is a stay upward. So by seeing the different boundaries from the different liquid, we can easily separate it out by the separating funnel. Now let's see the steps which is involved for the separation technique by the using separating funnel. So the first point, that the pour the mixture in a kerosene oil and the water in a separating funnel. The second one, that let it start undisturbed for some time so that the separate layer of oil and the water are formed. The third point, that open the stopcock of the separating funnel and the pour out the lower layer of water carefully. After the pouring this liquid, both the liquid, allow it for the settle down so we can easily see the separating boundaries. And after that, using the separating funnel, that if we are open the stopcock, then the lower layer is easily come out. And here in the example of kerosene oil and water, at the lower portion the water is there, so the water is first of all came out, and after all the water is came out, then the carefully just stop the cock button, so in the funnel we get the oil only. Now the close the stopcock of a separating funnel as the oil reach to the stopcock. Now let's see the application of funnel, means the application of this separating funnel. So the first application, that to separate a mixture of oil and water. By using this kind of separating funnel, we can separate the oil and the water things. The second one, that in the extraction of iron from its ore, the lighter slag is removed from the top by this method to leave the molten iron at the bottom in the furnace. In the extraction of iron from its ore, while we are extracting the iron from its ore means the impurities along with the metal, whatever the impurities is there, so that kind of things we consider as a ore. So in iron ore, if we are extract the iron from its ore, then at that time the lighter slag, which is lighter in density, so it is removed from the top of the furnace, and whatever the denser, more denser particles or more denser thing like a molten iron, that settle down at the bottom of the furnace, so from the bottom part we can remove it. Now let's see the next topic, it's a sublimation. As we know that the sublimation process means the volatile substance which is converted from solid to direct gaseous thing, so that kind of things we consider as a can be purified by the sublimation process, or you can say the separate by the public sublimation process. Sublimation means without converting a liquid state, the solid is directly converted into the gaseous substance and the gas is directly converted into the solid things without converting into the liquid phase. So that kind of process is known as a sublimation. So this process is used to separate the mixture that contains a sublimable volatile component from a non-sublimable impurities. This process is used a separate mixture that contain a sublimable volatile component from the non-sublimable impurities. Suppose in the mixture one substance is a volatile, or you can say the we can easily sublimate, means we can easily convert it into the solid to direct gas state. And the other one, other substance which is present in the mixture, it is a non-sublimable, means it is not directly converted into the gaseous state. So in such a case, we can use the sublimation process. The sublimation is the process where a substance directly changes from the solid to gaseous state on the heating. And the example of it, it's ammonium chloride, camphor, naphthalene, and the anthracene are the some of the example which can sublime. Means the ammonium chloride which can directly convert from solid to gaseous state. Camphor also directly convert solid to gaseous thing. Naphthalene also it is converted direct from solid to gaseous thing, and anthracene also. So this is the example which can be separated by the process called sublimation. The next that is of chromatography that we will see in the next lecture. One more time, let's see the sublimation. Sublimation means this is the process is used to separate the mixture. Which kind of mixture? The mixture who contains a sublimable volatile component and non-sublimable volatile component. Sublimate volatile component means a component who can directly convert solid to gaseous thing, and non-subliminal means who cannot directly convert it from solid to gaseous thing. They have to convert it to liquid. So this kind of mixture we can separate it out by the sublimation process. Sublimation process where a substance directly change from the solid to gaseous state on the heating. And example of this kind of subliminal component is ammonium chloride, camphor, naphthalene, and the anthracene. These are the example which can directly sublimate. Thank you.